Hey, what's up, guys? What's going down? It is me, Straw Hat Ninja 89, here for the second episode of random anime slash manga talk, or whatever I called the first episode of the series. I'll type it in the description above. But anyways, this is going to be episode number 2. Since I wasn't supposed to be scheduled for this Wednesday. It was probably supposed to be like a couple more Wednesdays. But unfortunately, Anime Game Talks couldn't make his video for some reason. I don't know why. He kept talking to me about like he couldn't make videos, or he doesn't know how to upload them that great quality or something like that. I don't know. He pretty much asked, like, he's been asking me a lot of questions about that lately. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm cool with the guy, but he just asked me way too many freaking questions. That's the only problem. That's all I'm saying. But other than that, we're cool, man. We're cool. I mean, he's a cool dude. I mean, keep up your good work on your videos. I know you're a big fan of Sword Art Online, but I'm really not the biggest fan of it. I kind of dropped the series after episode 9, I think. Plus, the love relationship thing was getting ridiculous with me, so whatever. Sorry, drinking water. Almost as bad as Inuyasha and Kagome. Inuyasha, okay, I'll stop. So, I'm going to talk about this week's chapter of One Piece, since I just recently read it, and some of the animes I watched over the past weekend. One Piece. One Piece. Chapter 691. Well, there wasn't like a lot of stuff that really happened in this chapter. I would say that it was a pretty straightforward way to understand the chapter. It wasn't really hard or anything. It was actually pretty easy. Oh man, the law doesn't disappoint at all. Oh my god. But we all knew that Virgo was pretty much still alive, but unfortunately, it's just like a talking head of Virgo. It kind of reminds me of like Dr. Gero or like Android 16 from like DBZ, where their heads are pretty much still talking. It's kind of weird. So in this chapter, we find out Virgo was just pretty much talking just to, I guess, to scare the crap out of Law, to make him, actually like, in other words, to hold him back from his decision that he's making. He's like, oh no, you don't know about Doflamingo's past, you don't know what he's capable of and whatnot. It doesn't matter if you're gonna, surpass this new era and whatnot. If you're gonna make your way towards this new era, it doesn't matter, because it's pretty much the same shit that freaking not Doflamingo, Caesar Clown was saying to like Luffy, pretty much like, oh no, don't do it, man, don't do it, like, you don't know, man, he is a crazy motherfucker, and like shit like that. And Law, just like Luffy, he didn't give a crap. He was like, just goes to his head, his head just cuts in half. The Law, man. So with Law's head cut in, not Law's head, Virgo's head cut in half, now I'm assuming Virgo is dead. That he's deceased. He's dead. There's no way he's alive after all this, because this is pretty much Virgo's last warning to him. So now, if you screwed around with him, which Virgo you just killed, oh damn, you don't want to make Doflamingo pissed, because he goes, oh, you never seen him pissed off. Like, even Caesar Clown was the same way. Caesar Clown pretty much feared this as well. I mean, he was just pretty much scared himself that he will lose his life against Joker, aka Flamingo. So anyways, yeah. So after that, he just pretty much just goes by, goes, whatever. Then like and then Smoker and like Law pretty much leave, and he's like, see you around, Pirate Virgo. And then he just goes around with Smoker. So anyways, meanwhile, we see that in the laboratory, they're still doing their thing. Sanji and them finally catch up to Zoro. Like, pretty much everybody is pretty much starting to meet up with each other at this point. So I'm guessing this means this arc is coming sort of to its climax. I think it's almost about to end pretty soon, because I think once they start meeting up with each other again, I think once Caesar Clown just gets defeated finally, I think then this arc is finally going to end, because it looks like it is about to end, especially what happens at the end of this chapter. And I will mind you, this kind of reminds me of like Thriller Bark, sort of. Like at the very end, it kind of reminds you of something like Gecko Murillo did, pretty much. So anyways, we find out that like everyone's pretty much meeting up with each other, pretty much, and then we see that Caesar Clown. And then Caesar Clown finds that the Virgo has been killed off by Law. Then he's like, I don't care, just release the gas, release Shikohime, whatever that big giant slime poison shit gas that comes by. And then he says, release it, I don't care. I mean, you guys are just guinea pigs. I can just pretty much replace you guys. And they're like, shocked at first, and then they were like, huh, they were like laughing, like, oh yeah, I get it now. This is just part of his strategy. He's just trying not to make us feel bad or something. Like, yeah. I'm like, face palm. You guys are freaking morons. Like, I can't believe you guys still can't see the true colors of Caesar. So it's like, do it now, do it now. Then like they just release him. But then they didn't release him. The gas just pretty much went on his own. Caesar Clown just pretty much did it basically himself. And then the slime poison creature thing, whatever, the gas, I think it's like the gas or whatever the hell it is, comes and kills pretty much most of his men. Then they're like, what? Why are you doing this? All our men. These are your comrades. Why would you do this? And blah, blah, blah. Then they're like, oh, could it be? Maybe Caesar was actually trying to use this guinea pigs. Maybe he doesn't care about us. The new sub, pretty much just gets out from sneaking out, which, by the way, like a boss. Sneaks out, and then he's like, well, I told you guys this from the beginning that, he was going to betray you, either way. He was just using you guys as guinea pigs for his experiment to complete his ultimate weapon for mass destruction. So then, pretty much, it's like, well, you shouldn't be talking. Your captain's running away from Caesar. I guess after when Luffy pretty much sees that, all this is going on, like, he's had enough of this torture. He's had enough of people being used by, so Luffy couldn't take it anymore. He just says, like, what's his name? Kunihomaru, the freaking, the samurai dude's dragon, the son. Then he's like, wait a minute, stay here and look at the brown beard. And then Luffy pretty much goes after them. Then all of a sudden, he couldn't take it anymore after, like, he absorbs all that, like, slime, gas thingy, whatever, Shuki Hoimi, whatever that thing is called. I kind of forgot. Let me know in the comment section below what it was really called, because I can't really pronounce that name good. So then he pretty much absorbs it. Now he turns into this big, giant, ghastly, slimy type monster final form or whatever. And this kind of reminds me of, like, Gecko Mario, how, like, he used all the dead souls from the zombies and made this, like, big, gigantic final form or whatever. I don't know. I'm kind of getting, like, a Thriller Bark vibe when I saw that. But then pretty much Luffy goes in there, and then, like, Usopp pretty much, gets pissed off while he's walking in there and talking to the people in the security room. He's like, how dare you diss my captain? Like, it doesn't matter. Sure, I may want to run away myself, but it doesn't matter, because as long as the captain believes in our power, as long as he believes in the power of his crew to survive the new world, I will believe in my captain. I will go on my captain no matter what, and he will never ever back down, no matter how troublesome, and those kind of speeches, how they go. So anyways, we see Luffy. He's getting ready to prepare for his ultimate attack. I guess it's the Gum Elephant Gatling gun, whatever it is, or something. This also kind of reminds me of how he defeated Gecko Mario's, like, final form, just like bow to his Jum jet shell thing, and he just, like, destroyed all the souls. This will probably look like it has a similar vibe to it. And then Caesar Clown has, like, that little drip, like, sweat, like, oh shit, like, he's about to go down, like, this is it. Then, damn it, like a dick move, it just says the end, and then we gotta wait till next week's chapter. But overall, this week's chapter was pretty damn good. I mean, I think last week was pretty more crazy, I would say, but still pretty damn good. I will say this is, again, #1 this week. And now we move on to Bleach, which, again, still earns second place, to my opinion anyway. But still pretty interesting chapter. Oh, boy. Wow. Bleach chapter 519. Hot heat. And the title says it all. Hot heat. Oh, joy. Hot heat. Well, wasn't expecting this at all. Hot heat. What the freak? Okay. So, in this chapter, pretty much, we just get tits and ass. Just kidding. This is not fairy tale, people. This is not fairy tale. But, that again, it kind of seems like Kubo is trying to go for the whole fan service fairy tale side. I guess he sees how, like, popular pretty good how the fan service did good in fairy tale. I'm guessing he's trying to do the same thing in Bleach to make people more into his final arc. Which I don't mind, because there's two signs that we're going to get kind of a little more fan service in between, because I think he's trying to compete with Fairy Tail at this point. But, still, this chapter was still pretty interesting. I mean, besides this. And there's another part of this chapter that also has fan service as well. A little bit, maybe just a little bit. Just a quick glimpse, but trust me, it's there. So in this chapter, we pretty much find out that Ichigo finally arrives at the palace, and then pretty much he goes and actually we find out that Ichigo rides to the palace, and then Ichigo's looking at that Rick Ross looking dude, and he's like, "Wait a minute, don't you need like the Spirit King, the Spirit Key to open up the gate?" But he says, "Oh no, because the true key of the Spirit King is in our bones. Like it's in other words, it's pretty much it's in our bones, but in other words, it's part of our Reijutsu that's only capable of the people who are in Squad Zero, who are in charge of protecting the units of Squad Zero. So the Squad Zero members are the only key they can be to open up the Soul King's palace. So okay, that kind of makes sense. That's pretty good. I kind of like it. It was just some like lame thing where they had to like just get a key. Like, oh, if it was just a key, it'll be not that interesting. But that's pretty cool, though. I do like how, it's actually their Reijutsu from the Squad Zero members to open up the key, like, with their Reishi. That's pretty cool. I like that. And then pretty much, they enter inside the palace, and we find out that, like, each member of the Zero Squad actually has their own castle. In other words, they have their own palace. Each one has their own palace and their own little world. This also kind of reminds me of like the world of the Kais from like Dragon Ball Z. Like, remember like in the Majin Buu stuff where like each no, it was during the filler with PyCon where they had like all the Kais from all the worlds, like North, South, East, West Kai, and they had like their own planet, their own kingdom, their palace to protect. This sort of reminds me of that sort of, but pretty much kind of different, but still pretty cool. I like that. I like how they're referencing also DBZ in a way. That's actually pretty cool. So I was getting kind of a DBZ vibe from like the Kais, like pretty much. That's pretty boss. I like that. I like that a lot. So we each find out that they protect their own century, their own palace, their kingdom. Like they don't have like one whole entire thing. It's not connected in any way to like one, like the Soul Society, like the 13 core guard squads. Like, it's not connected like that. It's basically separate to 5 units. So that's pretty cool. So even if they try to invade, like, their units are always going to be protected because they have 5 different protection units. That's pretty cool. That's something that Soul Society, freaking fails at, which I still can't believe that, like Phone says, exposed. Like, yeah, I keep saying that word a lot from Phone 99, but fuck it, that's what they are. They are exposed. Squad Zero for the win, man. Squad Zero for the win. Like, they got this, man. They got this on lock. They know exactly what they're talking about. So then Ichigo's prepared to launch himself to one of the palaces or whatever. Then Ichigo's like, wait, what's going on? He goes, now what? I forget the dude's name. The one that looks like Kuwabara looking dude, sort of. He's like, oh, well, no, what's wrong? He's like, wait, but where am I going? You didn't tell him we're going to be launched into the air like this. Like, what the hell? Where am I going? Aren't I going to, like, am I going to the palace to meet the Soul King? And he's like, what, man? What are you, stupid? You really think someone like you is worthy of actually meeting the Soul King? Then that fat lady, I forget his name, pretty much just whacks him. So they're like, be more specific. And then he's like, well, okay, in other words, you're going to be coming to my palace, with my healing techniques, not just you, but also Rukia, Renji, and Bakuga to get them all healed and whatnot. And then we get the hot spring, and as you're seeing in this description, and as you're seeing in this display picture is the actual cover page for this picture. There's actually one in color, but I can't find it anywhere. I don't know why. And the title of the chapter is called Hot Hot Heat. And then pretty much in this chapter we explain that the hot springs are pretty much almost identical to the same hot springs as Kisuke Urahara's and Yoruichi's playground sort of was back when they were kids. Pretty much like that, like those healing springs, the one back in like Soul Society, but different. Instead, what it is, like, all you have to do is pretty much soak them while they're pretty much really injured, and it soaks up all their blood, and all the blood is like pretty much a puddle of like river, and their blood from their wounds are pretty much being sucked up by that water. It's like, damn. Then Ichigo, the one thing that annoyed me about this chapter is that Ichigo kept being like annoying little bitch, kept asking so many questions, like, oh my god, what are you doing? I mean, not questions, we're like spazzing out, like, oh my god, what are you doing? Why are you drowning them? You're drowning Bakuga, you're drowning Renji, man. Even the freaking dude that looks like Kuwabara, man, he got really, really annoyed. He's like, dude, shut up. Like, really? Like, you don't know your place, you're just a substitute Soul Reaper. So it's like, yeah, you're absolutely right. You don't know Ichigo, so shut your mouth. So what happens is pretty much he just pretty much explained what I said about the water pretty much absorbing the blood or whatever to heal their wounds or whatnot. And this is why his territory is called, I think it was called the hot spring, the bloody hot spring from hell or something like that. I forgot. I think it was called the hot spring, the red hot spring from hell or something like that. I don't remember the name exactly, but again, comment below if you remember the name. I think it was something like that when I read this chapter. But yeah. That's pretty much all we pretty much learned about. Oh, and not to mention wait, before we get to the end, one thing like I mentioned, where there's another extra key point of fan service, and that is we see that Byakugan Ranger is soaked down below in the water, and all of a sudden we see someone floating up. And that's Rukia. But besides Rukia, what's floating, her face is down, but her ass is up in the air. And we actually get a quick glimpse of Rukia's tiny little ass. Like, it's not tiny, damn, it's a big ass. Like, I didn't know Rukia had a big ass, man. Like, damn. She's got herself a good pack, though, I'll tell you that much. Wow, I didn't know Rukia was actually packing in her. Like, for her being so damn short, I'm surprised that she got a booty like that. That's... Damn, Orihime, you got yourself some competition. I mean, well, besides, your big old titties and everything, but other than that, damn, this was an interesting chapter at best. I mean, it was a lot better than last week's chapter, I would say. A lot more better than last week's chapter, because we got some pretty cool information and some tits and ass. Okay, not tits and ass, but just a little bit of fan service here and there, which is good. I see Kubo is learning from the master of Mashima Hero from Fairy Tail, sort of. But overall, pretty interesting chapter this week. I really liked it. I liked it a lot. Next, I'm going to cover the anime that I've seen over the weekend. First, starting off with my homeboys at One Piece. And as we all know, this is not related to canon anything at all. This is pretty much just a filler leading up to the brand new movie Z that's coming out late in December. I have to say the start of this filler wasn't so bad. To be honest, I liked it way better than the Strong World one, because Strong World one was okay, but it was kind of boring. And those sombrero characters I didn't care for too much, but this filler actually had a pretty interesting character, which is a Lily, which has the fruit that can she has a double fruit power that can shrink her to size and also make her grow in size as well. And her father pretty much is a chef in the New World that makes like volcanic meals or something like that, like the special volcanic sauce. It's like, damn, Luffy cannot wait to eat that. And she's pretty much a good girl. I think Luffy and her can kind of sort of make a good couple, because I don't know. I mean, I know the fanfics are going to be crazy, with Luffy. I forgot about to look that up, damn. But there probably is going to be 1,000 of fanfics by now about freaking Luffy and Lily, because of like they both love to eat a lot of food. And there's one scene where they're going around the field of flowers and their bellies are all big and full. So it's like, wow, these two kind of make like a good couple together. I mean, even though she can grow in size, so it doesn't matter. So, as long as Boy Hancock don't find out, you know what I'm saying? As long as she don't find out, that's all good. Other than that, it was a pretty good episode. And I'm also interested about these Neo Marines. I'm kind of interested in them. I want to see how this turns out. Also, there's a familiar character from Impel Down, I believe also Slash Marine 4, that also returns in this filler. I'm not going to spoil who it is, but, you can watch it for yourself. It's a big surprise, but it's going to show up in the next episode, which I can't wait to see. This actually looks like a pretty good filler so far. So yeah, definitely can't wait to check more of this out. Good. Next we go to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Episode 9, and damn, this was a very, very sad way to end Episode 9. I mean, rest in peace, Jonathan Joestar. You are an awesome way to lead up to the legacy, which is the awesome badass of the second part to the JoJo series, which, by the way, is going to be the next episode, which is episode 10, so definitely can't wait to check that out. But in this episode, we see that, I really did like how, like, Dio's head was actually it's kind of creepy how Dio's head is actually still alive, and pretty much he needs Joe's body in order to pretty much complete that way, they could be immortal and stuff like that. They could be together, and she could stay with the love she wants, the one he loves or whatever, forever. But really, he just doesn't want to end up like that. I mean, pretty much, he doesn't want to end up like that. And then also, there's someone that Dio hires to help him fighting his assistant, but he was like, no, you don't dare touch JoJo. He's mine. He's my respective rival and whatever. Like, no one can go up to such a great man like I can. So they're kind of like good, sort of on the good side of friends, but they're more like rivals. I don't think they're enemies. They're kind of more like rivals in a way, but kind of more twisted and, different. But whatever. Yeah, it was kind of weird. And then pretty much that The one that baby, the one that he said that like the one that their parents died from when they were infected by the zombies. She is pretty much gonna raise that child, and that child is gonna be the next generation of the new JoJo. So, and there's gonna be a huge ass time. Pretty much Dio, I believe he's probably dead by now. Same thing with Jonathan Joestar. We all know Jonathan Joestar is dead. Dies in the big ass explosion from the boat that exploded inside. After he lit it with all those gases and all that. So yeah. So with that, after that happens, there's a huge ass time skip, a really big time skip, jumping from the 18th century to the 19th century, where we go from the year 1940. Yeah, the 19th. Now we're in the 1940s. That's pretty crazy. Now we're in the 1940s now. So that's kind of weird. That's like a huge jump of a time skip. Now it's gonna be like City Gangster JoJo or something like that, or City Gangster Joe leader or something like that. So now we're jumping to the 1940s. I think the third part goes even higher, maybe to like the 70s or the 80s, from what I heard of, or something like that. I believe it's like the 70s or the 80s that the third. I think there's a third part to this series also. Like I said, I'm not in the whole manga, but I have played the video game back in the day. The video game was awesome. Like thumbs up for that reference. But yeah, other than that, pretty good episode. I liked it. Sad as hell, though. I will admit that. And what was that temple they showed at the end, too, of the episode? That's going to be kind of, I guess, intriguing for the second part of the series. I definitely can't wait for that. Another good episode this week was Magi, episode 9. I have to say it was pretty good. Not Sinbad. Alibaba, even though he might have been raised from the rich, that's pretty good that he will never ever, don't forget that he was originally from the slums. He will always try to find a way to help those people no matter what, but unfortunately these higher up men, they really just want him to rule over a kingdom, but only rule for them. They don't want to actually rule for people who are poor, like for people in the slums. So, man, I mean, I give respect for Alibaba, because now I see where he's pretty much going with now. I mean, unless I'm misunderstanding this episode or something, but I really like this episode a lot. This week there wasn't too much. There was sort of some action going down. And who is that guy, the one with that black feather thing or whatever, like that passed Magi? I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is, but I don't know. He looks like a crazy dude. Like, he looks like he's gonna be like one strong dude. So I definitely, unless he was introduced already, I don't remember. I may have to rewatch the first episode again, but whatever. Still a pretty good episode this week. Also, I like that, what was it? Damn, he'll get to me. And I could see how, like, Alibaba's past, we learn more about that, about him, and, like, when they were friends with that guy or whatever, but, man, it's the past in this kind of reminds me of shit I would hear from, like, kind of like One Piece, but sort of like Bleach, I would say, at the same time. Again, this whole series still kind of reminds me of, Bleach, only, like, with the Arabian theme. It's actually pretty good. But man, this was a pretty crazy episode this week. But I'm starting to understand this series. Like, at first I was kind of not understanding this whole thing between them, but now I'm starting to pretty much get it. But it's still a pretty good series. I like it. Oh, no more water. Damn, I drunk it all. Oh well. And finally, with Fairy Tail, Lucy versus Magi, and boy, did I screw that one up. Oh, jeez. I mean, Lucy versus Flare. Sorry, I don't know what the hell that... I don't know, my mind was going somewhere else. Lucy versus Flare. I have to say this was a pretty badass episode. Pretty good battle between Lucy and Flare this week. But that again, but then, in the end, Raventail is still a bunch of cheating bastards. They're hacked. I really wish these motherfuckers will lose this tournament because it's getting ridiculous now. I'm starting to hate the fact that Raventail are a bunch of cheating asswipes, and I really hope that Natsu with the gang can just give them a good pounding after that. But overall, pretty good episode. Animation was flawless for this episode. Really liked it a lot. Yeah, pretty much was a pretty good battle, pretty good episode. Raventail, I hope you die. I hope you die. You go to hell and you die. But yeah, pretty good episode this week as well. Damn, man. Yeah, there were a lot of good stuff for the anime for that weekend. It was a pretty good weekend for anime. But yes, that's pretty much all I really gotta say. Pretty good week when it comes to this. Now we're gonna go to episode 3 of this when I talk about more of the weekend stuff, and then finally the chapters I read for Bleach and One Piece. So yeah, so thank you guys for watching this again. This is the random anime manga discussion, or whatever I called it back then. Again, the description will be up there. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy this second segment. I know a lot of people probably enjoyed the first one as well. So yeah, take care, guys. Peace out. This is Straw Hat Ninja 89 over and out. See you on the bounce. Peace out. Signing out from NA City 3. Yeah, and I hope we have another epic Skype discussion maybe this Saturday. Can't wait to join. You guys are awesome. And yeah, thanks once again, guys. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe to NA3 City. I'm signing out. Peace.